Tourism Minister Marsha Henderson says the new developments with COVID-19 should not impact the country's tourism sector as it did in 2020. She told members of the media recently that some cruise ship passengers that arrived here had to be treated, but stressed there is no need for alarm.
But I know in the US they recently declared a strain of COVID, and I suspect is the key word. I suspect that's what's happening. Passengers have been removed from 2 ships last week and provided care at our hospital. So
as we prepare and continue
to work with us in cruise tourism as to what the protocols will be, so that it doesn't have to cause a shutdown of the industry.
The tourism minister spoke about this in the context of the arrival of the world's largest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas.
She sets sail on the 27th, and her first stop is actually here in St. Kitts on the 30th. So we are ecstatic, as a matter of fact, and we are currently making our plans to welcome them. We have about 30 minutes before the arrival ceremony. We're hoping to involve some members of the public, possibly students, as much as possible. We do know that COVID is on the rise, and so we need to also take that into account. We've had a number of passengers, not to alarm persons, but we have a number of passengers who've had to be removed from the ships as well and given care at our local hospital as well. So it's a reality that we have to face head on. We can't close down the industry like we did in 2020. So the ceremony takes into account all those things in terms of exposing passengers and even locals to all of that. So.
Officials from the Ministry of Health on St. Kitts and Nevis are monitoring cases of COVID-19, influenza and RSV after a report out of the Pan American Health Organization alerted to increased and fluctuating incidences of the diseases in the Caribbean. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Socio-political commentator Ian Patches-Liebert accused Director of Public Prosecution Adlai Smith of having more bark than bite when he hosted his 15th January talk show, Straight Talk. The Straight Talk host was referring to statements made late last year, 2023, by DPP Smith and his subsequent press release issued in January 2024 concerning legal action against public officials who are non-compliant with financial filing requirements with the Integrity Commission. On 11 January 2024, DPP Adlai Smith issued a press release in which he disclosed he had received a list of delinquent filers from the Integrity Commission. In that statement, DPP Smith wrote, quote, "Notwithstanding that our office is in the process of filing charges, it is still possible to escape prosecution if the Commission receives your completed declaration before the 26th of January 2024. He goes on to say, "I will make one final appeal to all non-compliant public officials to fulfill this legal obligation promptly to avoid prosecution. It is not the desire that any should perish by way of prosecution, but as Director of Public Prosecutions, my duty is to enforce the law," end quote. According to Liebert, the DPP indicated he was ready to prosecute non-compliant public officials as soon as he received the list from the Integrity Commission. Instead, he said, delinquent filers have even more time to submit their financial declarations.
My Shutdock family, Adlai Smith, respectfully, is just full of chat and no action. Because responsibility should not be up for debate. So the action of the Director of Public Prosecution must speak louder than his words. And this is the only way he can demonstrate a clear and public commitment to his independence, which will provide the assurance that is so crucial to public trust. But what he did, he sent out this release, my Straight Dog family, long release. And he says this: in light of the received information, this office is currently preparing charges for the individuals on the provided list. Due to the list's length and the need to resolve certain administrative particulars. He comes out now. We anticipate that all charges brought under the authority of the Director of Public Prosecutions will be filed by Thursday, the 1st of February 2024. I thought he said he was ready. My Dog family public servants will not take responsibility for their actions because they believe that they will not face any consequences if we have a DPP like Smith behaving the way he's behaving. Loud back, but not biting.
Some people have expressed the view that they are waiting to see what will happen, especially if cabinet members are on the list of delinquent filers. Glenn Bart reporting for SK News.
Why do I love the cable? Well, I have their internet service at home and I never have issues with connectivity. And the way that they're always giving back to the community, that's impressive and that's a win in my book.
Introducing St. Kitts and Nevis's newest TV channel, Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV. TVC promises to deliver the finest in television broadcasting in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean, with some of the best local programs in news, sports, and entertainment. Join us for Insights, where we delve into the lives of our guests.
Let me see what happened if I put this to it. Big explosion, like, okay, note to self, don't do that again.
Or get in-depth analysis on Newsline 360. We have sports, entertainment, and inspiration. It's all here on TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV, on TelTV Cable Network in St. Martin, and on our website www.tvcplus.live. TVC Channel 40. See the difference.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
I love the cable because they're real. What you see is what you get. No hidden agenda, no tricks, just real, honest communication.
Dr. Matrice Williams has been officially appointed as the new permanent representative to the United Nations for St. Kitts and Nevis. Dr. Williams, a distinguished national security and international relations specialist, presented her credentials to Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, during a brief and significant ceremony at the UN headquarters in New York on Monday, January 15th, marking a significant milestone in her career. Dr. Williams' journey to this position is marked by a series of achievements and contributions. As a former civil servant, she has served across multiple ministries within the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. Her roles have ranged from a business and marketing specialist on the St. Kitts Sugar Manufacturing and Transition Management Team to the National Coordinator for the UNESCO Youth Poverty Alleviation through Heritage and Tourism Project. Renowned for her academic prowess, Dr. Williams holds a doctorate in public policy administration from Walden University, specializing in terrorism, mediation and peace and homeland security policy and coordination. Her dissertation led to her induction into the Hall of Fame for International Women in Emergency Management. Dr. Williams' political acumen is equally impressive. As a revered professor of politics and a seasoned political strategist, she has served as senior political advisor to Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. Her commitment to education and female political leadership has been recognized globally with features in prestigious publications and research papers. Prime Minister Dr. Drew expressed that both the government and the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are eagerly anticipating Dr. Williams' tenure at the United Nations. They are assured of her capabilities to effectively advocate for the nation's interests, uphold its values in the global arena. The government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, in a press release from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service, also extended heartfelt gratitude to former Ambassador Nerys Dockery, who served the Federation from October 2022 until late 2023. According to the release, her dedication and service has been invaluable to the nation. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Mark Brantley, the Premier of the Nevis Island Administration, is urging Nevisians to be more flexible in job selection and to take advantage of opportunities. In the context of personal development and the development of Nevis, Premier Brantley encouraged Nevisians to work hard, to be diligent and to invest in their future, as opposed to developing the attitude of entitlement. The Premier expressed such views when he hosted his first show of On the Mark for 2024.
This notion of jobs being available, and you prefer to sit down because you say, you are not going to do this and you're not going to do that and you're not going to do the other. You're only going to do what you want to do. And if what you want to do does not become available for 2 years, then you sit down for 2 years. That doesn't make any sense. And whilst you're sitting down for those 2 years, we have brothers and sisters coming from around our region in particular who are saying, what? There's opportunity on this little island. Let's grab those opportunities. And let us not just work one job, let's work 2 and maybe even 3. And while we're doing that, let's open a little business too. And then in 5 years, in 10 years, you who prefer to sit down and say, me nah do this and me nah do that because me banya, you start to see now that those who are prepared to work hard, those who are prepared to invest their time and their energy and their efforts are moving ahead. And then you hear the complaints now start to come. Oh, some people have come here and they're doing better than us.
Premier Brantley continues to encourage both local and foreign investment on the island of Nevis and has been pushing for Nevisians to make use of scholarships that are available. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
Well, of the cable, well, it's reliable, the speed, quick. When I come in town, I'm on the Wi-Fi on my phone, I could just say, okay, let me send a quick text. Who Wi-Fi available? You watch the other Wi-Fi and you say, bye. This one say free, but it ain't really free. But the cable more reliable than the others, and it's more, you know, it's local, it's from the home, so it's more trustworthy.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
So the reason I love the cable, the prices are reasonable and affordable, and they give back so much to the community and the country.
At Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design, we're thrilled to be your go-to print shop located in the heart of Bastille. From essential services like printing, copying, and laminating, to a diverse array of school supplies, arts and craft materials, and office essentials, we've got you covered. Don't fret, Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design are here to stay and ready to be your trusted partners for all your printing and craft supply needs. Ready for a visit? Find us at the corner between Dillio and Princess Street. Just look for the vibrant pink and yellow building with white doors. We can't wait to welcome you to our creative haven.
Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre has expressed optimism that the country can see a downward trend in the homicide rate this year. In 2023, a total of 75 homicides were recorded. With just 13 days into 2024, the island has seen 3 murders committed through the use of various weapons.
The homicides in this country, I'm very, very concerned about it. But fact is, for the latter part, the last half of 2023, the percentage in homicide rates decreased substantially when compared to the first half. No comfort. I take no comfort for that. I'm stating a statistical fact that in the second half of 2023, the homicide rate decreased when compared to the first half. The measures that we put in place, these measures are going to be strengthened this year. Hopefully, we can continue that downward trend that was seen in the second half of 2023. But it's not good enough. It ought to be better. But I would thank the police for their efforts.
Last year, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force received support in the form of vehicles, training and rehabilitation of various RSLPF facilities to improve their crime-fighting capabilities. The Prime Minister announced that the government plans to continue this support throughout the year to address the inadequacies that have been affecting the force's crime-fighting duties.
And I want to invite you to have a talk sometime on the Grosley, the northern headquarters for the police is situated in Grosley. I want to invite you to have a talk that at some point. Again, an act of irresponsibility that was supposed to be built from 2016. That was supposed to be built, not built. Irresponsibility. Then the Viewfort police station, that there was a mold infestation in that police station from since 2020. Let's say 2019 was COVID. Again, no work done there. We're the one who started to do work on that facility. You understand? There's several other police facilities. No work was done. We're going to be repairing them. We're going to be renovating them to ensure that the police have a better environment to work on. On Bordelais, the situation which inherited as far as Bordelais is concerned, you understand, you have to have discussions to find out what was the situation in Bordelais in 2021 when we won elections. So the national security situation is a situation that has many facets. What work happened at Bordelais? What was the condition of Bordelais when we took government in 2021? These are the things we have to consider.
The Prime Minister also spoke of re-establishing the K9 unit, which was discontinued when his administration took office in 2021. During a press conference on January 4th, Commissioner Cressida Descartes-Pellew spoke of the importance of a K9 unit to the police. During its tenure, the unit had a commendable track record, contributing significantly to the discovery of illegal weapons, ammunition, and drugs.
We had a K9 unit many years ago. For some reason or the other, maybe it was costly to maintain, and we don't have it now. But it's something that is very important. It's significant. And some of the successes we have had in the past is because we have had the assistance of other agencies with the use of the K9 unit. So it is something that we have discussed, and we are working steadily in getting it back in the organization. We have had discussion with other agencies out of St. Lucia in getting the dogs for us. And of course, the training for the officers in the organization to get this unit back and running is very important. We are serious. We realize the significance of it.
The discontinuation of the K9 unit was attributed to the substantial costs associated with maintaining its operations. Now, while discussions are currently ongoing, this, however, is not a surety of it being re-established, the Prime Minister has indicated.
It's not as simple. You need trainers, you need this. It's not as, it may sound like very simple, K9 unit, but it has very many things, surprisingly, many things you have to go through to get a K9 unit going. But we are working on it, and we'll make an announcement as to when and if we're going to have a K9 unit in St. Lucia. But we continue to seek use of dogs from our friendly neighbors. The French, the Americans assist us.
A review of the city police is also being undertaken. The city constabulary was restructured under the former Alan Shastney administration to the city police, serving under the office of the Castries Constituencies Council. The unit is tasked with maintaining law and order primarily within the city circuit as an adjunct to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Complaints, however, have arisen about their operations.
The city police was not a construct of my government. We found it. I have asked the Minister for Local Government to have a professional assessment of city police, which is happening now. So soon as that assessment is done, it will come for we'll be able to tell you what we found. You see, I not want to speak without evidence. See, so the assessment is being done by a professional. When assessment is done, we have a conversation on the city police.
The Prime Minister reiterated the importance of the Health and Security Levy to make resources available for national security initiatives. For the DPS News World, I am Zain Romulus.
Anticipating Budget 2024 will surpass $1 trillion, the Alliance for Change, during its party's press briefing on Friday, stated that Guyanese must be anticipating key developments. Among these expectations are free tertiary education and the elevation of the old age pension from $33,000 to $70,000.
Investment in the public transportation system, increase in old age pension to $70,000, an increase in budgeted allocations to GCOM to cater for a more superior system that includes but is not limited to biometrics.
Joretta Fernandez, Shadow Minister of Finance, like opposition leader Aubrey Norton, stated that this year's fiscal plan will be the largest the country has ever seen. To this end, she said that these expectations, like free education and increase in old age pension, are plausible hopes.
Subvention to the NDCs that will not be subjected to central government directives, monetary provisions for first-time home builders. Those expectations are certainly reasonable for the nation to expect, given the expected $1 trillion budget.
Budget 2024 will be presented on Monday, January 15, and comes on the heels of a recent supplementary funding of a whopping $25.9 billion. Already, the opposition leader fears that this year's budget will focus on the quantity of expenditures over the quality of life. He has already called for a slew of measures to be included in this year's fiscal plan, including a 50% pay hike for public servants. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
Why do I love the cable? Well, I have the internet service at home and I never have issues with connectivity. And the way that they're always giving back to the community, That's impressive, and that's a win in my book.
At Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design, we're thrilled to be your go-to print shop located in the heart of Bastille. From essential services like printing, copying, and laminating, to a diverse array of school supplies, arts and craft materials, and office essentials, we've got you covered. Don't fret, Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design are here to stay and ready to be your trusted partners for all your printing and craft supply needs. Ready for a visit? Find us at the corner between Dillio and Princess Street. Just look for the vibrant pink and yellow building with white doors. We can't wait to welcome you to our creative haven.
Introducing St. Kitts and Nevis's newest TV channel, Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV. TVC promises to deliver the finest in television broadcasting in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean, with some of the best local programs in news, sports, and entertainment. Join us for Insights, where we delve into the lives of our guests.
Let me see what happens if I put this to it. Big explosion, like, okay, note to self, don't do that again.
Or get in-depth analysis on Newsline 360. We have sports, entertainment, and inspiration. It's all here on TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV, on TelTV cable network in St. Martin, and on our website www.tvcplus.live. TVC Channel 40. See the difference.
So the reason I love the cable, the prices are reasonable and affordable, and they give back so much to the community and the country.
Katie Simpson is in Des Moines tonight. So Katie, it really didn't take long for the American networks to call it for Trump.
Within minutes of those first results coming in from caucuses, Adrian, Donald Trump was projected as the winner of this state. It went exactly as expected. It was never if Donald Trump was going to win Iowa. It was always a matter of how large his margin of victory would be. The race for second is far more competitive. Heading into tonight, Nikki Haley had secured that second place spot, with Ron DeSantis trying to catch up.
The final push to the finish looking far less frantic than usual. Ron DeSantis' team plugs away inside his suburban Des Moines headquarters. With support for the Florida governor sliding, enthusiasm seemed to wane. Iowa is all about Donald Trump, dominating polls for months, his supporters willing to endure icy roads and frigid temperatures to pledge their support.
He's got a personality that you just can't shut off. It doesn't matter what they throw at him. He keeps going. I mean, anybody else, if I had 90-some lawsuits against me, I would probably be crying in bed.
It's a disappointing reality for Republicans against Trump, including long-shot candidate, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson.
Donald Trump has said that he's going to be autocratic, that he's going to ignore the other institutions of our democracy, and that he's going to also put into place people that will follow his narrow agenda.
Hutchinson fears democracy in this country is at risk with Trump. But in a long-shot kind of way, he still hopes Republican voters will choose another path.
I want Canadians to understand that sometimes we have a very sloppy process in electing our presidents, but it generally works.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is trying to establish herself as the credible Trump alternative. A strong second-place showing in Iowa would help.
We can't continue to be a country in disarray with the world on fire. And we can't do that with 4 more years of chaos.
And that leaves Ron DeSantis in an even weaker position, as it remains unclear if this race is big enough for 2 alternatives to Trump.
I'm going to be fighting for you for the next 8 years, and we're going to turn this country around. Now's the time to do it.
So, Katie, given what's unfolded tonight, what does this change or tell us about what could happen leading up to the next primary?
It says DeSantis and Haley both have a lot of work to do if they're going to secure that position as the clear alternative to Trump. And they're also both going to be looking forward to the next state, which is New Hampshire. They don't have to answer any difficult questions right now about whether it's time to pack in those campaigns. They'll be looking for a breakout moment in New Hampshire as a way to try and stop Donald Trump from running away with this contest.
All right, Katie Simpson in Des Moines, Iowa.
We're just a few meters in front of the presidential palace where hundreds of state employees are in a protest here. At least 7,000 of them have already been dismissed as part of the new president, Javier Milei's belt-tightening measures. And they are workers who had contracts that were expiring and will now not be renewed. But there are many others who fear losing their jobs. The government has actually shut down half of the state's ministries. There were 18 when President Milei took office just over a month ago. Now there are only 9 left. People are saying here that this is just a warm-up for a national strike that they're calling for next week. I'm going to be speaking now to Gabriel. He is one of the state employees, to ask him why or how many actually of the people who are part of his union are afraid of losing their jobs now.
Ministerio de Cultura son 200 compañeros trabajadores que pueden estar perdiendo su trabajo.
Right now in the culture ministry, he says there are at least 200 of them who have lost their jobs already.
Estamos hablando de los trabajadores que garantizan que funcionen los museos, los centros culturales.
These are the workers who take care of museums, cultural centers.
Sí, y si se aprueba la ley ómnibus que está sacando.
And he says that if the law that is right at this very moment being discussed in Congress, it's called the Omnibus Law, which would, it's at least 633 articles to reduce the size of the state. He says there will be at least 20,000 more people who will lose their jobs.
Hoy en día tenemos 7,000 personas en
He's actually adding that if this law is passed in the Congress, there would actually be as many as 32,000 fiscal workers, including hospitals, doctors, schools, museums, etc., whose jobs are at risk, and people who would be out on the street as well. Muchas gracias, Gabriel. So as you say, people here are very, very frightened of losing their jobs, but also of what's going to happen. The government, in the meantime, says it will not give in. It wants its law to be approved. They say it's the only way to deal with this country's economic crisis, with its more than 200% inflation rate. The strike has been called for next week, next Wednesday, and we'll see how many more Argentines will answer that call. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
No, there will be no JFF voting Congress on Sunday as the court has placed an interim injunction on the elections after a case by Beach Soccer Association was heard in the Supreme Court on Friday. After being twice rejected by the JFF board, Beach Soccer Association took the matter to court seeking to reverse the decision which barred them from being a member of the federation and as such took away their voting rights. At the board level, Beach Football Association of Jamaica was recommended to Congress, who accepted their membership, thus denying Beach Soccer Association. After numerous attempts to overturn the ruling, Beach Soccer found no favors, and that resulted in them taking the matter to the courts. The case, which was presided over by Justice Andrea Thomas, lasted for 90 minutes, and in the end, Justice Thomas ruled that the elections be put on hold. The injunction will last for a period of 28 days while the matter is looked into.
There's a genuine dispute as to which of the two entities is entitled to be recognized under the Constitution to vote at the election. So we amended the application on our feet and asked the court to grant a prohibitory injunction, that is to say, to postpone the election until that issue is determined. And the court agrees with that position. So what we have now is an injunction to postpone the holding of the election until the issue as to which of the two entities representing beach soccer or beach football is entitled to vote at the elections.
According to attorney at law Hugh Wildman, who represented beach soccer, there is no doubt after examining the documents that his clients are the legitimate beach representatives.
The judge recognized that. That is why she was amenable to our argument about the prohibitory injunction, because she recognized that we had pleaded enough information in the affidavit to demonstrate that the JFF had in fact recognized beach soccer as the entity to represent the of beach soccer under the Constitution.
As for Beach Soccer Association President Pat Gorell, the decision was a victory for Jamaica's football.
I do believe that this country is supposed to be a country of laws, and therefore you cannot just be ignored by a Mr. Dennis Chung. You're not supposed to just be ignored by a Mr. Michael Ricketts. You just cannot be, just be shown disrespect, which is what they have done to beach soccer. To this day, we are yet to get something in writing to say that Mr. Bruce Gaynor and Mr. Patrick Malcolm's entity, by virtue of their status in the Jamaica Football Federation, is the flavor of the month.
Gorell says even JFF General Secretary Dennis Chung's argument in court was flawed.
Mr. Dennis Chung today tried to say that we could not be the people who would be the favored beach entity because we were only registered in September. But he omitted to say that the one that they chose under his vice president was registered in October, a month after we were registered.
The Coaches Association, which is led by Vin Blaine, withdrew its matter 33 minutes before the case was set to be heard on Friday.
My client advised me that he just got a phone call threatening him that if he goes ahead with this matter, he will lose his job as a coach. He's the person who did the affidavit. We had a discussion and I supported his position that he can't lose his job, he has kids.
King's Counsel Valrenita Robertson, who was representing the coaches, didn't say exactly who was behind the threats.
It was someone in a high position in an organization that we expected better from.
A relay said that the Congress is postponed until further notice. It further stated that the administration of the JFF will continue to be headed by President Michael Ricketts and will continue to advise its delegates of any developments.